Okay there boys, we've got a bit of a sloppy Saturday's marathon today. A rather long game between Tarsonis here, playing as the Lord Commissar, and... who's this? This is Guldan, playing as the Apothecary. So probably a low-level game, but we'll see, we'll see. I don't know who Guldan is. I believe I've cast Tarsonis before, but I don't even remember what the series was. So far it all makes sense. Ash is a Typhon. I would say this favours the IG in terms of the map. Not a lot of cover here for the Space Marines to utilise. They really want that heavy cover, particularly uncrushable heavy cover, as a means to counter the Sentinel with their tactical Space Marines. This is a good opening here though for Tarsonis, because the Space Marines attacks are over on this side, so that means the Apo is rather vulnerable right now, can't really do anything, and in fact this is brilliant play, is managing to cap the point while shooting the Apo. So yeah, the Apo is just going to move away slightly to stop himself getting shot while he finishes the cap, but honestly not really a whole lot he can do against the Sentinel. It's too fast, it can kite him forever, you need the tax there. So the fact that the Apo got caught out like that, not great. Scouts are just capping in the back line, makes sense. Scouts by default can't really do anything. If they do get green cover, then they can trade pretty well against Guardsmen, bleed a few of the Guardsmen and retreat without any model losses. If the Guardsmen approach them from out of cover, then the Scouts can even win. This is of course assuming that the Guardsmen do not have their Sergeant. Now we only see one Guardsman from Tarsonis, but that's okay as long as he drops a lot of gens, and he's dropped double gens, so he could go for another a nice Cadishan squad here, but he could actually go for double Cadishan squads. Ooh, a heavy weapons team. Alright, that's fine. Here's the Commissar, so he can get the power sword to counter-initiate any ASM that come out to deal with the heavy weapons team. But he will have to be wary of Scouts getting their Sergeant and dropping a grenade on top of that heavy weapons team, potentially from infiltration. So you can see the Scouts here trying to do their best with a bit of yellow cover, but the Guardsman building a green cover block is going to help them quite a bit. Oh, and certainly with the Commissar coming over, these Scouts need to go. Yeah, too late. Bolt pistol killed one of them. Sentinel getting pushed off by one of the tactical Marines down here. We see a second tack coming out here. Not an uncommon build, especially with the Apothecary. Just gives you that resilience against the Sent, but the fact that he's facing only one Guardsman and one Sentinel could be that these double tacks are a little bit over the top. That said, tacks are probably your best option against Cadishans as well. One Devastator wouldn't really achieve much thanks to Old Reliable, but certainly two Devastators would shut the Cadishans down, but it's a lot of commitment. And honestly, I feel these days I don't really like setup teams that much against IG. It's weird. It just doesn't feel great. Now, when they're relying on more tier 1.5 as opposed to heavy investment in Guardsmen plus Sentinel, and still we see the Guardsmen running around without their Sergeant so that they can pay less upkeep. Tarsonis clearly focusing his build here on tier 1.5 instead, but these Guardsmen are going to have to get out meeting a bolter Apothecary and double tax. You can see a lot of range damage coming out there. No idea why Guldan activated the Kraken rounds there. Not at all useful against light infantry. Only boosts the damage against heavy infantry, which in this case is purely the Sent. And a big miss micro here from Tarsonis. He's too busy looking over here, gonna have his heavy weapons team forced off, and this is not really an important fight, just chasing off Scouts. Sentinel should probably go deal with that. Okay, they retreated anyway. I don't think he's seen that though. And really the problem is this. There's a Storm Bolter Apothecary here, so you can just full auto the Commissar, stun him, and then focus fire. Okay, not going to do that then. Very slow reaction from Guldan, not sure what he's watching. And now the Cadishans are in melee. Brilliant. Yeah, and the heavy weapons team setting up in the back. Way too late there with a stun from the Bolter. Way too late. And there was even an explosive shot as well, potential from the shotguns of the Cadishan Devils, so yeah, not good. If he stunned him and focus fired him, probably could have forced off that Commissar without taking much damage, and then you just soft retreat over here, you're out of the firing arc of the heavy weapons team, and then Cadishans can't fire on the move, and they're quite short range, so you just split up your attacks, and your Apo, and you shoot these guys down, and then when you lose enough HP from the shotguns, you just heal it off with your Apo. It's not a terrible position. I would consider getting a Flamer eventually. Obviously right now Guldan has been saving up the resources to get the ASM, and that's fine. He probably wants a Scout Sergeant as well. That would handily allow the Scouts to defeat the Guardsmen here.
Processing the land's request. Imperial Guard structure reporting damage.
Oh, missed micro here from the Sentinel, just going around capping the points, but drops it. Was focusing over here, building his deployable cover, which does work, gets him the victory. He's picked up a Sergeant here so that these Guardsmen, anytime they encounter Scouts afterwards, they should be pretty good. Decent IED, obviously they're Space Marines so they don't just die instantly. Oh, nice explosive shot there. A bit of a late reaction on the jump onto the heavy weapons team, but yeah, that's going to rout them. Kadashan's taking too much damage. They are generally countered most effectively by your line infantry, like your tactical marines, your big shooters, your termagants, that kind of thing. And it's an opportunity here to bash. Yeah, Flamer, like I say, really good at bashing, of course, but also very good against Kadashan Devils because of how tightly packed they are. So, I feel like compositionally right now, Tarsonis is not in a very good spot. Losing the Sentinel, behind on VPs too at this point, not majorly, but also being gen bashed, so he's got fewer squads. These squads are more powerful, you know, all of these cost a bit more than all of these. And he's been gen bashed, so he's definitely on the back foot right now. No upgrades on the Commissar, and there's an upgrade on the Apothecary, so yeah, just all around, really, Guldan is in a very good position. And I think Tactical Marines and ASM scale very well. Scouts, not so much, but you know, you just use them for capping, don't you? Which is exactly what Guldan is doing right now. He didn't opt for the infiltration grenade players against the heavy weapons team, which certainly can be viable. Probably going to kill that scout. Yeah. Fair bit of requisition bleed here from Guldan on his scouts. What's he lost? About 3 or 4 scouts? That's over 100 requisition. So he could be a bit better off. He seems to have a decent amount though, and not a lot of power. I wonder if he's queued up some upgrades. Yeah, he's got the Sergeant coming in. Don't know if he's got a vehicle coming in. We'll see once he finishes his tier 2 tech. Tarsonis did get to tier 2 first, but obviously being bashed means now he's going to get that Ogre squad out as his tier 2 choice, but then he's going to find himself quite lacking in power after that point. Kadashans probably want to be going into melee there with the ASM. Going to do a lot more damage with their melee than they will with their shotguns. And yeah, the correct decision there by the Tax and the Airpo. Focus down the Kadashan Devils. They're very expensive to reinforce. Wow, very close to killing the heavy weapons team there. How much HP is that? Damn. Less than 10 HP. Still no upgrades on the Commissar. Okay, Commissar needs to get out of there. Full SM army here. Yeah, even the Ogrins are considering turning around. Wait for the lads. They should be pretty good here because of the fact that they're super heavy infantry. So all these bolters won't really do anything to them, and there's only one power sword on the Sarge of the ASM here. The chainswords won't really do too much to them, but they're obviously just massively outnumbered, aren't they? Now there might be a response in terms of plasma guns here. I'm quite surprised actually to see sergeants coming out first before plasma guns. I think plasma guns will be a lot more important. Bolters here really need to be focusing on the Kadashans. As you can see, Ogrins are just too thick and durable. That super heavy infantry armor, bolters just don't do anything to them. Yeah, mass rout. ASM jump prematurely, don't hit the heavy weapons team. Could have been a wipe on the heavy weapons team as well if it didn't retreat prior to the ASM landing due to them only having one model. Losing 2 attacks as well. Not good. So maybe Guldan not very good at dealing with Ogrins. He's gone for a Devastator. Obviously suppressing the Ogrins is not a bad idea. It will do a lot of damage in spite of their super heavy infantry armor if you're at close range, just because setup teams do crazy damage at close range. Is this going to be a wipe? Oh, beautifully done with the IED there on retreat. Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. Wipes that scout squad. If he had the sergeant on the scouts, that probably wouldn't have happened. So now he's down a capping unit, and that's going to hurt. And already, wow, it seemed so advantageous for the Space Marines, but just like that, I don't think Guldan's going to counter this properly. Okay, he's going for a plasma gun. You only need 1. I don't think going 2 is a good idea, because if a Chimera comes out afterwards, you might be in a bit of trouble. One should be sufficient.
We just need to find an edge.
This will do very notable damage against the Ogrins.
Victory point is slipping away.
Very unassuming little weapon, that blue plasma gun, but very scary for heavy and super heavy infantry. It missed there. There you go, it hit that time, and you can see chunks of damage coming off. Oh, he's gone for double plasma guns as well. Yeah, that's pretty yikes. Aura of Discipline is going to be very necessary here, an accessory here on the Lord Commissar, which will do percentage-based heals to nearby units. The fewer models near, the greater the percentage-based heal. So if he just goes around with the Ogrins as bodyguards and not a whole lot nearby, the heals will be pretty nice. So he moves back here, baits the double tax into suppression so that he can advance whilst they're suppressed and not take too much damage. Ogrins should be tying up one of the tacks, Commissar tying up the other. We don't want either of these attacking. Ah, but look, here we go. Guldan has his Devastators in the back lines ready to defend. But look at that, Guardsman said, oh, we've got plasma guns as well. They're nowhere near as strong on a gun per gun basis as the tactical Space Marine guns. Wait. Why does it say equips the squad with 2? It's free. Hello? Tooltip error. Somebody write that in the comments so I can put that in the dev Discord. After I finish recording, or whenever. Because I can't do it now. But yeah, a little bit of a tooltip error there. It's free plasma guns, but the DPS is correct. It's just over 4 DPS. I think it's 4.12. Yeah, that would make sense if I do the maths. 4.12 DPS per plasma gun on the Guardsman, which is 12.36 in total. Does this tell me? Oh my god. Yeah, this is 26 DPS, the plasma gun on the tax. That is terrifying. Okay, so we've got a scrap on our hands, but we've got Angels of Death activated by the Apothecary here, giving that 50% damage resistance and knockback immunity, which is really useful when the Ogrins are using Use Your Head, which makes them do that on-demand knockback twice. Aura of Discipline, preventing the Ogrins from losing a model, though, is very useful. And the ASM, what energy have they got? They do just have enough energy. Can they get in, tie up the heavy weapons team? They can, right. Probably want to get out of there. Very lucky to get a special right there. Oh god, look at all the damage coming from the attacks as soon as the suppression worn off. Jeez, that was a lot. Obviously, Tarsonis not expecting that massive spike of damage right there. Drops some mines in response to try and delay the inevitable gen bash now that he's off the field. Going for a Manticore, I don't like that play. I guess it's a way to counter the devs. Be very ineffective against attacks because they're mobile line infantry, they can just walk out of the way. Generally you're going to have to set that up with suppression or something, and he just lost his heavy weapons team. But devs can't dodge it, but to get a Manticore just to counter one Devastator seems ridiculous. That's so expensive. And meanwhile Guldan's just going to go tier 3, right? He's kitting out his Commissar, making him a bit tankier with the Carapace armor. It is only a tier 1 war gear, but it's fine. It's a nice tanky armor for him. And then the Power Sword likewise, only a tier 1 war gear, but it's cheaper. Tarsonis obviously wanting to get this Manticore out quite urgently. Mine's proving quite useful there. I think these attacks are going to have to retreat. They're going to start losing models soon. Oh, they're delaying it to try and bait into the Devastators, and it works. They only lost one model. Probably worth it to force them off. They gotta go. What are they doing? Oh, they're waiting for the Manticore. Oh my god, those plasma guns though. So painful. He missed the final missile. There wasn't even a retreat from Guldan. Oh, there was another dude anyway, so they'd have been alright. Not worth it, man. Not worth it. Cadishers do have their sergeant down here. Oh, there's no sergeant on the ASM, so they might be in trouble. They need their sergeant. If they use Merciless Strike with their sergeant, they will easily handle the Cadishans 1v1, but we've also got Loyal to the End activated here in the Cadishans, so they get more damage and more HP every time a single model is killed. And that allows them to guarantee the 1v1 with the ASM, which is a massive mistake by Guldan. Obviously a micro error. Didn't realise his ASM would lose that 1v1 against the Cadishans, but the Cadishans had their leader, and the ASM did not. Too busy focusing on his tax over here. Not too many losses here for Guldan. And he has a Predator on the way. Tarsonis still stuck tier 2 thanks to that Manticore purchase. I hope it works out for him in controlling this Devastator. He's been using it very defensively right now, but that might actually be better for him because if a Predator comes out, it could just hunt down that Manticore very quickly. That was a nice little pick up for him. Got a couple of the Devastators with the Cadishans and then gets out of there. Not bad. Probably move in for a heal here on the tax. Just got the improved medical equipment here as an accessory on the Apo. Simple passive energy economy buffs. More heals. But he's not healing these. There we go. Felt quite late. And going for some late game scouts. Makes sense, he needs a repair unit, doesn't he, for this Predator if it incurs damage. Just needs to evade the Ogrins. Of course, it should be faster than it. You've seen the cannon's damage just get totally negated there by the heal from the Aura of Discipline. So the Ogrins will be quite good alongside the Commie just to face tank this damage for the time being. Tarsonis is going tier 3 himself. Obviously, he wants to get a Lehman Russ out, which will be superior to the Predator. Manticore used there simply to knock over the Apo and prevent the cap. I mean, it's alright. There's no infantry nearby. He's going to rotate them down now. Scouts need to get out of there fast. Very lucky all plasma gun shots missed them there. Okay, they do get out. And Kadishan's going to resume the cap. But Tax and the Predators have pushed up top with the devs. Honestly, it might be an idea to get a Librarian. Librarian would be able to counter the Manticore perfectly. Even if you don't Veil a time and then manually move the Devastators when the Manticore hits, you can just use Gate of Infinity to teleport the devs. And that way, it's faster, you don't have to click as many buttons, and you still dodge the Manticore. This is a massive excess of power here from Tarsonis. Yeah, he didn't need all this power, I don't think. Now he's floating a bit of Requisition, but you're liable to bleed it. There's a lot of VP still in the game here, 250, 250, so I think just hanging on to the wreck for the late game probably more valuable, but we'll see, we'll see. Obviously, like I say, he really wants those vehicles out as soon as possible right now to counter this Predator. This is really weird, going for a tier 3 Dreadnought. Guldan really quite scared of these Ogrins, clearly. He doesn't like them one bit. Got the devs to counter them. Dual plasma guns, and now a Dreadnought. But the problem is, there's going to be a Lehman Russ coming, and yeah, the Dreadnought's not really going to do much to counter that. Oh, big micro error there, Tarsonis. Firing down the Manticore, and I mean, this is... Why is the Manticore so slow? Oh, it went over a mine? Oh my god, it went over a mine. Did I call it a Manticore? The Predator. Is this Predator going to drive over this mine before... Oh, the mine didn't arm in time. Very, very lucky. Very lucky. Terrible, terrible micro there from Guldan in terms of dealing with the Manticore. He literally drove forward and then reversed back through the Manticore shells and took tremendous damage. The mine snaring the tank was what enabled the Ogrins to actually get into range and smack it a bit. And literally one more smack from an Ogrin would have blown that tank up. So very, very lucky from Guldan. And now, he's got a Lehman Russ to contend with as well. So, yeah, this could be tricky. This Dreadnought purchase is not ideal. It really isn't. It's not going to do a whole lot. The Predator shouldn't be getting caught in normal circumstances by Ogrins anyway because of its speed. So, the Dreadnought in that sense isn't really necessary. And then the Dreadnought, of course, really cannot deal with the Lehman Russ due to its speed. And that is going to be the primary threat right now. So, a bit of a close range Manticore shot there. Not doing too much, you just retreat out of it. Oh, why is the Dreadnought here? The Manticore's driving way too far forward as well. Might even get taken out by the las cannon. It's now showing rear armor. This is a bit of a fuck up. One more las cannon shot. Ooh, I don't think he's got line of sight. And it gets out on 10 HP. Just like the Predator then. I guess the luck is normalised between both the players here. But this is the problem. The Dreadnought, it's too slow. It can't kite the tank. It's got a multi-melter, but it's never getting into range. Yeah, it's trying to flee. It's dead. It was not a good idea at all. Oh, man. And he's paying for this upgrade as well. What is he doing? Paying for that upgrade when he's going to lose it. Guldan very confused. He needs to be careful with this Predator. It does not want to 1v1 a Vanquisher Leman Russ. Predators are faster. They're more fast attack than mainline battle tank, really. They do not have a lot of durability. Even with their armor upgrade, you can see it's a lot less than the Leman Russ. We did get a Bulgrin's upgrade, which is probably quite good in this instance. There's not really any melee to tango with, so they're getting that passive damage resistance to ranged attacks that you get on the Bulgrins, thanks to those slab shields, is pretty handy. You can see they just absorb those Predator shots easily, and the main counter to these guys, of course, was the plasma guns, which now will be doing reduced damage against them, so good choice, I think. Second Devastator squad coming out. He did swap that initial one, obviously, to the las cannon. We've seen it nearly take out the Manticore. That Manticore is quite far back right now, having nearly lost it. I'm not sure. I think that Predator walked over a mine again. Really could do with getting the twin-linked las cannon on the Predator, but here is... Okay, Vengeance round Devastators. Huh. Okay, Bulgrins are too low on HP, and we've got And They Shall Know No Fear activated on the Tactical Marines as well. Yeah, that was not good. Angels of Death, but there's no focus fire really on the infantry. Angels of Death doesn't give DR to the vehicles, so I'm not sure what the plan is here, really. Come on, las cannon. No, don't drive your Predator forward. It's going to die to this Leman. Bait into the las cannon. Bang. This should be good. He should be able to kill this thing here. Just get the Predator out. Oh yeah, that's a good play for Guldan. Perfect. Yep. Moves his heavy bolter Devastators up, suppresses the Cadishans, now can force melee and retreat with the Tactical Marines. This is systematic. I wonder what Tarsonis' plan is going to be here. Manticore's coming in. That felt late. Why was that not used in the last engagement? I think Tarsonis forgot about it. Oh, it was a bit of a swing and a miss as well. Shit, what those Bulgarians are doing running forward with one model. Whoops! Probably would be worth getting the tier 1 armor here just to get reduced cooldown on your heal and your APO. Why not at this point, right? You've got absolutely loads of energy. You might as well just have more heals. Be good for the tax. I mean, at this point, the IG's got no hope in a ranged firefight. Level 4 APO, level 3 tax, all 3 tax. Nah. Only 1 guardsman. No chance. To take on 2 tax, you're going to need 3 guardsmen. Kadishan's caught out by the Pred. Shouldn't go well for them, but the Pred is not shooting with both of its heavy bolters, and it's also showing its rear armor to the Sarge with a melter gun. I wonder what Guldan's going for. Land Raider Redeemer? Terminators? Dunno. Doesn't really matter. Either would be great. He needs to stop driving his Predator so far forward. What on earth is he doing? Wow. Why the hell did he drive it forward with this HP? Wow. And he gets killed by the Manticore. What on earth was it doing in that position with 30 HP? I wondered, was he sacrificing pop for it? I don't think so. He's only gotten to 80 now with the Land Raider Redeemer. Maybe he wanted Terminators as well? I don't know, you can't afford that. No, that was just weird. There was no reason to do that. I don't think. Predator can't be more than 20 pop, can it? Surely, for God's sake. No, the Land Raider Redeemer's only 20 pop. What's a Predator? 15? Or 18? Something like that. So Kadishans are uncontested up top. To be fair, the Bulgarians should just be advancing on these guys right now. Yeah, with the Lord Common support, they should take this. Yep. You need some control for them. Okay, there's the control. Land Raider Redeemer versus a Lehman Russ. Might have been worth waiting for the super heavy tank for Tarsonis, but it's so risky. He's so low on VPs right now compared to his foe. Only 65, which is probably why he's putting a lot of pressure down here, where you can hold these two natural VPs. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to deal with a Land Raider Redeemer. To be fair, this is an instance where the Manticore will be quite useful. When he sees this thing, he should get the upgrade on the Manticore to do more damage. The damage on the Manticore is generally perfectly sufficient for dealing with setup teams and most infantry as well. But when you want to actually kill vehicles with it, especially super heavy vehicles like this Land Raider Redeemer, that's when that damage upgrade on the Manticore really does become a lot more valuable. So let's see, this is what he wants to do. Poke away at the Bullgrins with the Tactical Marines in front and then bait them into your Devastators. But what's he doing? He's messing around for a long time before setting up here. And a Manticore's going to hit that Devastator. Ow. You could almost call it devastating. Not really. Didn't even die. Okay, but there's no micro. No response. What is he doing? What on earth is he doing? Finally, the Land Raider Redeemer gets here. Well, he does lose his bloody Devastators beforehand. Oh well, he killed the Commissar, so it's not that bad. Honestly, that might even be worth it right now, given how good Guldan's eco is. You see, he's not really bleeding anything, is he? Another Vanquisher Lehman Russ comes out, and it just so happens they've routed the last cannon, but it's actually falling back to the Land Raider Redeemer, so it can just reinforce, which is not ideal. Tank misfired there. Also got hit by the multi-melter. Needs to micro this thing properly. Misfired again. At least the frontal last cannon did something there to the Land Raider Redeemer, but it's gonna take some time. Manticore shot going in. Double tacks are out there as well. Oh yeah, just Kaddish and Barrage the tacks out of your Manticore shot. That was clever. Sorry, Tarsonis. That was not very clever. A lot of free damage coming into the Land Raider Redeemer from the Lehman. Nothing is contesting it. Where has the last cannon gone? It's gone down bot. The last cannon should have been staying with the Land Raider Redeemer. I don't know why it isn't. Pretty stupid, really. Obviously, the Land Raider Redeemer is mostly CQC. Close quarters combat. It's got that multi-melter, but it's very, well, it's not very short range, but it's short range. Less than standard gun range, whereas obviously Vanquisher way above standard gun range. Get inside the Land Raider Redeemer, then frag us all. But you're gonna die to the Lehman Russ either way. Yeah, this was a terribly used Land Raider Redeemer. I don't think I've seen such a poorly used Land Raider Redeemer in years. Not good. The last cannon should be with it the whole time to protect it from the Lehman, and then the Land Raider Redeemer can disrupt the Bullgrins with the frag assault and the flamethrowers. Drops in Termes, going for an assault cannon. But it's all piercing damage, will not do much to the Bullgrins, and will do literally nothing to the Lehman Russ. So I don't really understand. I think you kind of have to go for Cyclone Missile Launcher at this point to deal with the Lehman Russ. I mean, look, Termes are very tanky, so as you can see, they just sort of eat tank shots to the face and don't really care. But they will care eventually, and you've got to remember they can't retreat. Oh, don't eat the Manticore shot as well. That's going to be a lot of damage. Did we get the Manticore upgrade? No, we didn't even get the damage upgrade. Imagine how much that would be with the damage upgrade. I swear it's like at least 25% more damage. Might even be more. Ridiculous. These guys are now at the stage where if they start fighting Plasma Gun Guardsmen or Bullgrins, they're liable to lose models. Okay, they're going to get a heal. Obviously, they do heal up outside of combat very fast. They are Terminators. That is their thing. But it's just, I don't know, it feels bad, man, to incur all that damage for what? Must have been a hotkey error there to pick up flamethrowers. I don't think he wanted flamethrowers at this point in the game. 370 power for Guldan, so no gem bashing. That would not be helpful. Rear armor hits on the Lehman Russ. That was a max range one that triggered just before the wind up. And a rocket run. It is a rocket run, but these Space Marines are a little bit too tanky at this point. That was a poor rocket run. Only the end of the second barrage hit there. So what you meant to do is you aim it like this, bang, 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 and then you go back maybe a fifth of the distance, and then you aim it in the same direction. Because it's a strafe, it goes damage, 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 like that. So if you go this way, you hit them 5 times, and then you go this way again. He missed like 4 hits here. The second one only did like 20% damage. So you go bang, 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 like that. Manticore not being able to knock these guys over is actually causing even more damage than normal, but then he predicted that it would do knockback, and it didn't. That's Angels of Death once again, causing knockback immunity. He really does respect the Bullgryns, doesn't he? I think he could have stayed in melee quite a bit longer there with the Apo. Honestly, getting the armor of the Apothecarium would have been a really good choice at this point. The game has been going on so long, and the attacks have been sort of blobbing around the Apo so much that it would have been quite useful. This is actually a very bad spot for the Terminators. Yeah, no melee resist on these guys, so they really don't want to tango with the Bullgryns, and they've got a Lehman Rush shooting them whilst that's happening, so not really great for them. ASM are down bot, so we've seen some late game ASM. He has the Sarge, he needs to use Merciless. Where is the Merciless Strike? Okay, can't now, he lost the Sergeant, brilliant. But I mean, it's level 4 Cadishans versus level 1 ASM, so pretty stupid, really. Why would you buy the ASM and not get the Vanguard? I don't know. Guldan's actually going to lose this, isn't he? This is unbelievable. He handled the first Lehman Russ with Bullgryns fine, and then somehow he's lost Terminators, Land Raider, Redeemer to the same combo of Bullgryns and Lehman Russ, and that Dreadnought was a really bad play. The Bullgryns have done well, but I think a massive overreaction to them. Certainly we're getting that Dreadnought, and no excuse to have the Dreadnought all the way over here on its own. Never mind the Land Raider Redeemer being that far forward. When it's a unit that you can retreat to, keep it in your half of the map, man, and slowly push forward and get control of the map. Just ridiculous, really, to move the Land Raider Redeemer up that far, especially when you know that the enemy has tanks, and your Land Raider Redeemer's never going to be able to catch a tank nor get in range. And you moved your last cannon away as well for, I'm not sure what reason. I mean, to cap a natural VP, sure, but it's going to lose against anything that it encounters while it does that. And your friggin' Land Raider Redeemer was getting shot by Lehman Russ whilst that was happening. So, I mean, I don't really think Guldan can win this at this point. I mean, he can't even kill these friggin' Bullgryns. Done a good job keeping the attacks alive. Will he see this, though, while he's watching down here? Nope! Dead Sergeant. You do have to do a bit of predicting, because you don't know exactly which way they're all going to fly, but that's quite expensive. Kills a Sergeant and a Tactical Marine. Does force off the Bullgryns. Maybe they got suppressed in the end. Eventually, if the Assault Cannon does shoot at you for long enough, it will suppress you. But it does take a while. It's not like a setup team. It's probably at least 5 seconds. But Bullgryns are tanky enough that that can happen. And it's going to be a second Lehman Russ. Why the hell not, man? Guldan just cannot deal with 1 Lehman Russ, so why not get 2? He'd have been better off getting Predators. I don't think the Land Raider Redeemer was a poor choice, though. I think it's perfectly fine, but he just used it terribly. Really bad usage of the Land Raider Redeemer. Pop goes a Tactical Marine, thanks to that Vanquisher. Casman last guns at this point doing absolutely nothing. Level 4 attacks, right? Yeah. And Terminators, for God knows what reason, are trying to cap an uncontested power in the mid when Guldan has 450 power. So a bit of sort of metagame strategy going on here. You need to be thinking about that, Guldan. Come on, why are you capping an uncontested power when you're floating this much power? You don't need that. The only advantage that gives is a bit of line of sight in the mid. Who cares? You know what I mean? What's this? Stern guard? Huh. I'm not sure I understand the point of that. Drop pod to get stern guard and reinforce a couple attacks on the field. Interesting. I mean, the Lehman doesn't give a shit. It's just tanking it. It doesn't need to tank this, it could just drive away. Oh dear, oh dear. Manticore disrupts the cap. He is going to have time to decap though, but now there is an execution on Lehman Ross. Oh, the joy. It is a 1-to-1 cap. But Bullgrins are going down bottom, there's nothing to stop them, so that is GG. Guldan, you have lost. You have lost. Because he can take this contested, but the Bullgrins are just going to cap down bot. Ah, didums. Tactical Marine's incredibly tanky at this point though, thanks to all those APO heals. Look at that Executioner though. Oof. Great splash damage. Terminator is still just running into base. Bullgrins, what's going on? What? They left! Pardon? What? Why did they leave? Is he not looking at the VPs? What on earth are you doing, Tarsonis? Holy shit. What is he doing? He lost his Manticore to Power Fist. He stopped moving his Executioner Lehman Ross. It's dying to Power Fist as well. What? Hello? Are you out of your mind? Just cap the VP. All he has to do is cap the VP. The scouts are ignoring the Bullgrins. Oh, for fuck's sake. They even stopped them for, oh, should we chase them, boss? No! Cap the VP. Oh my god. Tank. Kill the scouts. Holy shit, are they gonna get the decap? They got it. What is going on?
You've all but done it, sir.
Why are they not capping? Is he out of his mind right now? What are you doing? Cap the fucking point. He's got 5 VPs. If he gets a 2-to-1, and the enemy isn't decapping one of the points that is giving Tarsonis the 2-to-1 at the point at which he gets the 2-to-1, then it is an instant win. Because you need 7 VPs in the bank when you start decapping the point if it is a 2-to-1 cap against you, or you run out of VPs because you can't cap fast enough. Holy shit, man. My god, this was almost the biggest throw in the fucking world. And I don't know what Guldan's doing right now either. His Terminators need to be on the point, and when the Bullgrins kill them, you just take over the cap with your Tactical Marines to finish it. Jesus. Oh, this was so dumb. This was so dumb. Oh, boys. Boys, that was a really sloppy ending. What the heck? Look, it was a long game. It was a long game. 40 minutes game, you don't get them very often. Obviously, at this point, both the players had lost their minds. they didn't know where they were. Clearly paying zero attention to the VPs. Holy crap, Tarsonis nearly thrown that. I mean, just games of throws all over the place. As soon as that Land Raider Redeemer come out, that should have been Guldan's game. Tarsonis should have had no chance. But the usage of it was abysmal. But then nearly thrown the throw. I can't comment further. I cannot comment further. But that is Sloppy Saturdays, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get some kind of entertainment out of that. Ended up being somewhat torturous for me in the end. I think these kind of replays make me not want to play Dawn of War 2 for several months in a row, each time I watch them. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be all from you, boy Torpid. I am signing out.